Hello, welcome back to Greatest Love Ministries. This is Pastor James Hargrave. I want to do a correction or clarification video that I think is important to get out there. In my previous videos, I said that the Bible is saying that this attack on Washington D.C. will be the Fall Equinox. I'm going to take that back. Upon further study, and I'll show you that here, that's what this video is about. It's still Daniel 9 that I'm looking at. Well, first, we'll get to that, but first let's go up here to verse 24. 77s are decreed. So 70 years for the second appearance of Israel, so to speak, or the reestablishment of Israel. I guess this would be actually the third because it was after Babylon. But anyway, this was 1948. So the 77s were up on May 14, 2018. And you know, what is this talking about then, the 77th? To bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy place. 70 years. Now we're going to look at that, but to look at that, first we need to jump over to Daniel 12. And Daniel 12, if you never looked at this, verse 11 and 14 talks about 1290 days, which it can also be, just look up the Hebrew, it can mean years. 1290 years, 1335 years, so that's a total of 2625 years. I'm just doing a shortcut here, but from 607 BC. So that brings you to 2018 also. And it's talking about when the abomination of desolation is set up. Abomination of desolation is idolatry. What the abomination of desolation is these two structures, the Dome of the Rock, which was erected in like 683 AD, and then the American Embassy, which Trump put into Jerusalem, moved to Jerusalem, and that's less than 3 miles from the Dome of the Rock. So as it says in Daniel, I think it's 9, it's on the wing of the temple. It's on the abomination desolation is on the edge of the abomination of desolation, the first one, which was the Dome of the Rock. Barack Obama he's going to use a foreign guide. He's going to use his connections as a Muslim, which he's really not a Muslim because he doesn't submit to any god. He doesn't worship any god. He doesn't submit of any god. He exalts himself above them all. And it tells us that in Daniel 11, which we'll look at if we have time. So this is about this abomination in Jerusalem. And that's why time was up in 2018. Now I'm going to go to where I need to make the correction. In verse 27, okay, we have Barack Obama leaving office in 2017. We have Donald Trump coming in. And after this anointed one, he's not being put to death. That just means he comes to an end or he's out of office and has no power, supposedly for a while, or not officially. The people of the ruler who will come will destroy the city and the sanctuary. Now, who's this a reference? We've had two rulers. The sixth king was Donald Trump. The seventh king is Biden. And one of these two rulers is saying will destroy the city and the sanctuary. The city and the sanctuary, I believe, is a reference to, could be the same city, Washington, D.C. It might mean another city, such as New York City, and the sanctuary being the set-apart place. I'm looking at that as the capital, Washington, D.C. Anyway, they will be destroyed. Revelation talks about this too. And then the end will come like a flood. War will continue until the end, and desolations have been decreed. Verse 27, he will confirm a covenant with many for 1/7, so 1 year. In the middle of the 7, he will put an end to sacrifice and offering. So if this was Trump that this is referring to, this covenant with many for 1/7 or a year and a half, that would fit 2017 up and May 2018, a year and a half, or roughly. It's not exactly, but it's roughly a year and a half when Trump would have taken the oath of office. And then at the temple, it says he will set up the abomination that causes desolation. So it was Trump that moved the embassy next to the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem, which is the Temple Mount, the Jewish Temple Mount. And Trump did this. And so that's why I'm thinking this year and a half reference here, 1/7 and then the middle of a 7, is a reference to what Trump did in the middle of 2018. Now, so how I was interpreting this earlier, the people of the ruler who will come, I'm interpreting that as the ruler being Biden, because Biden's of the same mentality of the Democrats and Joe Biden. He's radical, and he will destroy the city and the sanctuary. This is something Biden would do, or the people of Biden, the Democrats, the desperate Democrats would do, because they're desperate to maintain power. They stole the election in 2020. They'll stop at nothing to stay in power, including setting off a nuke. I believe these people are that crazy and desperate. Plus, this is a 21-year plan, military plan, so it goes much deeper than just politics. This is all scripted and planned out many decades ahead of time. So I was saying this was Biden. If it's Biden, it would definitely be, the Bible would be saying, this fall equinox, September 22nd, 8:03 p.m. But now I'm just looking at this reference on verse 27. I think is pretty clearly talking about what Trump did with the American embassy in 2018. So the people of the ruler who will come will destroy the city, and sing. It doesn't say when. It could be the same date. I mean, it could be a double entendre, so to speak, that this year and a half of Biden also applies to both rulers. One, Trump did the embassy. The other, Biden will destroy the city and sanctuary, and both will be a year and a half from the start of their reigns. That could be. And one reason I was thinking also that it's this fall equinox that Washington, D.C. gets destroyed, because this is definitely what the Freemasons and their symbolism and their coding method, which is public information, you can just look it up and study how they code things, are saying. They're clearly saying it in their symbolism. Where they do it or not, who knows? But I just wanted to clarify that this does not have to be, biblically speaking, on the 22nd, 23rd of September that Washington, D.C. gets destroyed. I do believe the Bible is teaching Washington, D.C. will be destroyed. But if this doesn't happen September 22nd, 23rd, I am pretty positive the Bible's not saying when it will happen. It could be sometime yet in 2022. It could be in 2023. But I think it would definitely have to happen in 2023 before 2024 starts, because we have to have World War III and Armageddon start and be able to be finished, because Russia, Iran, England, the Anglo-American Empire will be stripped of its power and put under Barack Obama for 15 months before the end. And I don't have the reference off the top of my hand right now, but it's earlier in Daniel that it talks about 15 months. It talks about a time and a season that these powers will be stripped of their power. Let's look that up. It's about the beast. This is about the beast from the sea. So I think it might be Daniel 8. And let me just see here. Nope, it's Daniel chapter 7, I think. Yeah, the 4 beasts. Talking about lion, England, Anglo-American Empire, because it has the wings of an eagle. United States flying out from England, the Revolutionary War. Eagles, the national animal of America. Second beast was a bear, Russia. The leopard, verse 6, Iran or Persia. And then there's this 4th piece, and this is this New World Order under Obama. And basically the last 7 presidents have been working on the abomination, desolation for a long time. You can see when it's talking about the kings of the north, or the presidents of the United States, you can see some of our presidents and their recent presidents in there. And that's in Daniel chapter 11. Talks about a little horn, verse 8, came among them, and 3 of the first horns are uprooted before it. So I think this little horn is Barack Obama. The 3 horns he uproot is basically 3 terms, three opponents for the presidency. He's already fulfilled 2 terms. He's going to have another term. He's the third 3-term president, so to speak, even though that's unconstitutional. No, right now, but under continuity of government, when he seizes power, they're going to give him a 3rd term. Don't know exactly how that's going to work out, but it's going to be under continuity of government. Okay, verse 12. The other beasts have been stripped of their authority. So Russia, Iran or Persia, Anglo-American Empire, and I think meaning they have been stripped of their authority and placed under the dictatorship of Obama. It could be Obama and a panel of past presidents or something. But we're allowed to live for a period of time. If you look in the Hebrew there, a period of time is a time and a season. So I'm taking a time again as the Bible does, as a year, and a season as a season. 3 months, roughly, a time and a season. So 15 months. So that would be around May 2014. So this war has to get started and over to where they're stripped of their authority by May 2014. But as far as, I just wanted to clarify that as far as the Bible saying the September 22nd, I don't know. We just have to wait and see. If it's not September 22nd, 23rd, it doesn't say. It's just going to be sometime here, between here and probably 2024, the beginning of 2024. So that is good news because it gives us more time to prepare. More time to bring people to Jesus and share the love of God. More time to focus on our mission, which is recreating the world through the gospel, recreating the world. loving people as they are. It'll give us time to focus on our mission. So that's the good news. All right, thank you for listening.